What is going on, YouTube? Crypto for Change here. My name is David. With me, I have Chris Swenor. He is the CEO, founder of Reach and the up and coming decentralized exchange that is coming to Algorand, Humbleswap. I'm excited for both of these projects that are being, built in Algorand and further and beyond just Algorand. So I'm excited to have Chris on the channel to talk with us about that. So without further ado, thanks for coming on the channel.
That's purely my pleasure. Should I address you as Crypto for Change or COC? What should I call you?
You can do a Crypto for Change, COC. It don't matter. I know the Crypto for Change family. They all throw out different hashtags and whatnot, but Crypto for Change works for me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, I actually met you guys when I was in Decipher. I went to your all's pre kind of party before the whole Decipher event kind of kicked off. And that was a lot of fun, just kind of, because before that, I actually had no idea what Reach was. And then upon, arriving back home, I actually started to do a little bit of, diving into what you guys are, but I won't try to explain it. I want you to explain, what is Reach and what are you guys building there?
After you found out, did you have to actually sweep your brain up off the ground because it just exploded?
Yeah, I'll say this. I read I watched an interview where you said you started coding at 11. Yeah, I'm not there. So all of it just, went straight over my head, but nonetheless was still excited.
Sure. So what Reach is Jay, my co-founder, and I's answer to how we bring the tens of millions of developers into blockchain. Blockchain itself is actually difficult for the traditional developer because I'm going to try to actually be non-technical with this. When you're building a blockchain application using, say, PyTeal or Solidity, what you're really doing is you're building a state machine, and which is like the lowest level of abstraction of like what an application is. And that's not like traditional development at all. So you have to learn a completely new type of development paradigm. What Reach does is it raises the level of the abstraction to be closer to traditional development. You have to develop at the level of the participant or developing like the business logic itself. And Reach will take that like that script of like, a script and say like, this is how my play works. And then it takes that and then it derives the underlying functionality and allows the developer then to take that and put it on the blockchain. So it makes it exponentially easier, exponentially safer, and makes it the developers themselves not only faster to learn, but can actually build more complex things because it removes a lot of the boring pieces of blockchain development that you have to actually think really hard about and allows you to actually think more about the business logic.
Yeah. And so, what kind of got you into, why did you choose to start, I guess, and build around the Algorand community? I know that Reach is, going to be further than just Algorand. Obviously, my channel, most of my followers are Algorand, I would maximalist, I guess you could say, or just believe in algo. And so, what kind of made you start there? And then obviously look to grow past it. But, what do you see in Algorand, for Reach?
I'm also a big supporter of Algorand. I've been around the Algorand team and just the Algorand ecosystem before mainnet. So I love the team. Steve, he's actually an advisor at Reach. Steve Kukinos. Sean, the COO, is actually, I've known him for probably 12 years. I actually worked with him at a previous startup. Kelly, who's the head of marketing, is actually one of my really good friends. Known her for also 12 years. But just pretty much the entire Algorand team is full of just very amazing, brilliant people, and the product that they put out is a great product. All of that being said, I do believe in a multi-chain future. I believe in a completely different way. So I'm not a maxi. I'm not an algo maxi as much as I love it. I believe that there is actually the future is a multi-chain future because it is impossible for a single chain to be everything for everybody. I don't believe in a multi-chain future where similar chains are doing the similar things, but I think different chains will do different things. And this is one of the things that Reach allows for is that you can learn to build with the Reach application. And depending on the functionality of your application, you can decide which chain you want to launch on purely based off the functionality that you really need. But in my opinion, Algorand is actually a great all-purpose, secure, fast chain. And most of the actual developers on Reach, like the large majority, are actually launching on Algorand.
Yeah. And what are some of the projects, I guess, right now on Algorand or even beyond that are using Reach that, some of the viewers may know out here that they're using daily?
Sure. So obviously all of our projects, so Humble, our gaming stealth project that's going to come out of stealth in probably about 3 months. And then a Monarch will be on Reach. So that's obviously our products going to be on Reach.
Yep.
But XBacked, which is a decentralized stablecoin, is on Reach. Zest Bloom, which is a decentralized NFT marketplace, they're building on Reach. Dequency, they're building on Reach. Algo Mint V2 is going to be on Reach. Zone is on Reach. I mean, Tiny Chart is on Reach. And Tiny Chart's actually, like, the thing about Tiny Chart is like what they are building, like they think, like people think of them as like an analytics company, but they're actually building a lot more. They're going to end up being if you're familiar with other projects, they're going to be an AMM aggregator, like 1inch. They're a product that they're coming out soon it's called Tiny Safe, that allows for ASA lockups to prevent rugs. So they're doing a lot of stuff and they're on Reach. But I mean, I could actually sit here and list a lot of different projects. I mean, NFT Jam was completely built on Reach. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Several of the projects on Algorand are actually built on Reach, and I would advise your listeners here to ask their favorites project if they're being on Reach. Good chance they are, and if they're not, they should ask why are they not.
Yeah. And obviously I know a lot of my viewers, they use Yieldly, AlgoFi. I talk Lofty AI a lot. I mean, I know their Opulus obviously is one that's coming up that a lot of, my viewers watch. Even Zone, I actually did an interview with the creator of Zone. And I think
that is great.
Yeah. And I think everybody in this space, especially Algorand, people who are maybe new into crypto and just getting into it are looking at Algorand and waiting for that parabolic run like Ethereum had when its DeFi ecosystem exploded. And you could correct me here if I'm wrong, but the main programming language for Ethereum is Solidity. Yeah. And so you guys obviously you're building something that you would say is better than Solidity. Kind of explain what effect or what impact that could have on something like Algorand as more developers come and realize what you've built is actually better than some of the things that are out there.
Sure. So back in the late 70s, there's a thing called the PC wars. There were several hardware manufacturers out there that were building computers, and the general public made fun of people that bought these computers because there was really no purpose. Obviously the nerds, they thought they saw the potential in these things, but there's tons of these things and it was very difficult to program on them. Some developers focused on it and they built small applications. But what took the personal computer from a niche solution to everybody having one? Everybody watching this has a computer,
right?
Was Microsoft came and said, okay, we're going to build a development platform that abstracts away the complication of all of the different manufacturers. And we're going to make it so that all of the developers can work with each other to produce and to deliver their applications across all different platforms. And that is when the actual PC revolution came. Thanks to Microsoft, they built the operating system for a personal computer. What Reach has done is we have built the operating system for blockchain. What gets me out of the bed in the morning is to actually bring blockchain to the billions of people in the world through the innovation of the developers that we're bringing in. So I would say that is really what the actual main focus of what Reach is, and how we're going to actually drive this adoption is by it's impossible to predict what that killer app is, but the way that you figure it out is by just dumping tens of millions of developers on the problem, so that's people like you and I get to actually reap the rewards of all of their hard effort and how smart they are.
I mean, think of how many people have built applications because of what we had, with those programs and how easy it was. And that's the thing, as technology's grown, it's gotten faster, easier, simpler. And obviously with what you guys are bringing with Reach, I think that's just another, it speaks to the volume of what Algorand can be and what, this blockchain future can be as more developers are able to build, a lot of these projects we use and decentralize them, make sure they're secure, stable, and all of, all those good things. So let's transition a little bit. Let's talk about Humbleswap. I know a lot of people are excited. Most of my viewers actually ran a poll a couple days ago on my Twitter asking, what decentralized exchange are most of you using? A lot of them, I think it was like 70-80% still using TinyMan version 2 or the one after the hack that happened. And the next one up and coming was AlgoFi with a few of the updates they had. And I thought some of their features were pretty cool. And then I did another post right after asking, which one are you guys most excited for? It's up and coming, either DeFi or Humbleswap. I'm pretty sure, I could go back and check, but I'm pretty sure Humbleswap was winning the last time I saw. So obviously a lot of my viewers are excited for Humbleswap. And after you kind of give a little bit of introduction of what it's going to be, I'd like to share, I'm going to share screen the roadmap you guys have so you guys can talk a few points there.
Well, thank you, everybody that voted for Humble. I really do appreciate that. So Humble is our answer for, so one of the themes that you'll get from me is that I don't do anything small. My goal with everything that we do is to be the best in the entire category. And I don't mean that we're trying to actually be the best DeFi suite on Algorand. Our goal is to actually be the best, not even the best DeFi suite in all of blockchain. We want to actually compete with the JP Morgans of the world with this product. And when I say we, I truly actually, I don't mean reach. Like the core of Humble is that it is owned by the users, owned by the network, owned by all of you watching this. So when I say we, I mean us and you. We will build a financial service, a financial product that will compete with JP Morgan. Now, to be more specific rather than so lofty and what we're going to do, the first product, of course, is a swapping tool, an AMM, just similar to TinyMan, similar to AlgoFi. But this is just the foundation. Where we go from here is that we want to, we're shortly going to be releasing limit orders, then an option actually primitive, or actually just multiple different types of option primitives, and then eventually an entire derivatives market on top of it. The true goal here with Humble is to actually build a strong suite of DeFi applications that we can then combine them together and put a layer of value on top of it. Right now, I believe that DeFi is actually too difficult for the common world to understand exactly what they want to do. Yeah. So the goal is to provide an interface, starting with an actual help desk and live chat to be able to answer any questions, but to be able to eventually provide more like single button click to actually provide true value to the end user. And that's really the idea with Humble, is that it's DeFi for everyone, not just us nerds.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because I live here in Florida, which, not to say there's tons of retired people here, but there's more, than, I would say your average place. And so at the apartment complex we live at, there's a lot of people who, when I walk out to the pool, if they got a friend in town, they're like, oh, that's the crypto guy. Like he'll talk crypto to you. And so, I'm de facto have to explain this to people who, are not of the digital age and don't understand, basic, computer programming stuff and just user faces, and like trying to explain Yieldly, AlgoFi, all these things to 65, 55-year-olds, it's a lot, and it's a tall order. And so
thank you for doing that. You're fighting the good fight, and I'm going to say thank you for all of the people watching as well. You doing that is actually super important.
Yeah. And so, because my background is in finance, I worked at a credit union for like 7 years. And so, I would say a credit union was a little bit different in a bank, in the stance that when people would come in, like I would actually try to help people understand, before they got that car loan, before they got that home loan, are you in a spot in life where that makes the most sense? Not just, trying to get them approved or get them pushed through just because I know on the other end of that, I'm making a percentage, or I'm making a check that's going to increase my value. And so actually teaching people and helping people learn these things was key to me. And so when I started to get into crypto, the DeFi scene was actually what really brought me and, got me excited enough to want to do a YouTube, channel, and to actually talk to people about this, because I can see the future of like, coming online and not having to worry about, a centralized entity controlling my funds, because I can't tell you how many times when moving money or receiving money, and then you got to wait 5 days for stuff to sit and then actually get there. And then I find Algorand, and I can send money to and from accounts. It's instant finality. It's my funds are there. And then you go the next step further, and you start finding all these DeFi protocols that you can, earn great yield on or lend and borrow. And so that is something that I'm super excited about. And the user face, that is the number one thing that I hear so many people, tell me at least, that they just can't get it. I've tried it. I keep having to, it's so hard to understand what I'm doing, connect this, claim this, LP staking and all that stuff. It just is so confusing. So how does, Humbleswap plan to, I guess, bridge that gap for the, people who maybe aren't so digital?
Yeah. So it's a process. I'm not going to say that we're going to come out of the gate in this way, but that is one of the missions of the company to be able to do. And the first step is, of course, building the foundation so that we have the actual base primitives of the financial, what people will use. We are trying to actually make it easy for out of the gate by providing a live chat help desk and staffed as much as we possibly can. So if people come in and say, what am I actually doing here? So they can actually have a live conversation, say, okay, well, I know there's only 2 boxes, but this is what you're going to do in each one of these, and go from there.
That's still super helpful.
Yeah, but the eventual idea is that we want to make it so that we will be able to analyze the actual wallet, be able to look at the contents of the wallet, and give a client-side recommendation on the best way to get the most value on the current screen that you see. So things like, okay, I noticed that you have algo and yieldly, or we noticed that you actually only have algo. If you click this button, it will actually do X, Y, and Z, and you will be able to generate this much money from doing so. Click this button if you want to do that. Like, that's the type of mentality that we want to actually to have. So it's much more of a guided process with a recommendation, and allowing for people to act like to do that. That's what they want to do. But yeah, I mean,
gonna have that little like paperclip guy in the corner, like
yeah. Bring back Clippy.
Yeah.
Did you really want to be rugged? No. But yeah, I mean, this is actually just, product 101, is that's by surfacing the value of the product to the end user as what I like to say, the time to wow. From the time I actually start to the point I go, wow, it needs to be as short as possible. And that's really what we shoot to accomplish.
And I'm going to bring up your all's, let me see, I'm going to share your all's roadmap here. So when looking at your all's roadmap, one, do you guys have any plans for like just an app on your phone as well, in the future?
You're just trying to drag out the for me, huh? So that's actually not on this page, but we actually have a developer dedicated fully to build an app store application, both on iOS and Android.
Awesome.
I haven't actually seen the progress of that, but 100%, yeah, there's going to be a native application for mobile phones.
Sweet. And so I guess, looking at the, roadmap here, what are some big things that you guys are seeing for mass adoption as Humble grows? What are some points here that you guys are really looking forward to have, these features to roll out?
So the ones that I'm personally most excited about are the derivatives, options, futures, primitives, because one of the big things that are missing for the big institutional players come in is the ability to hedge their bets on their investments. So being able to have a highly liquid derivatives market will really incentivize the large institutions to come into the space. Now, that's just the actual, like, that's the thing I'm excited about, because as much as I love the common person, and that's really what we're building the interface around, is that we need to make sure that we build a strong financial foundation of, like, with liquidity pools with large institutions, so that we can serve the everybody, and that's one of the ways that we plan on making that happen.
Sweet. Yeah. And obviously, looking through here as well, some of the other DeFi projects that are out there, you have Yieldly with yield farming, you have, Tiny Man, where you can do liquidity mining and stablecoin pools on AlgoFi. And you saw, I feel like everybody saw how quickly AlgoFi overtook Yieldly as far as total volume locked went. And just a very small amount of time. And I feel like people are getting more and more excited about more things you can do, with your algo or with your stable coins and in the DeFi space. And so obviously looking at your all's plan, you have almost, a one-stop shop as well. And even I would say a step further because of what Reach is going to allow Humbleswap to do in that, 2023 section, with the whole, state proof and cross-chain swaps and being able to unlock liquidity on multiple chains rather than just, Algorand. So, I am very, very excited for, what you guys, are bringing to the space. Bring us back over here. But yeah, is there anything else, I guess, that you'd want to tell the viewers, for people who are getting ready for Humbleswap, and maybe just, or more for Reach, and just how they can, help and just get the news out there?
I would say the number one thing to actually really make sure that all of your viewers know is that that yes, we are the ones building this, but the whole idea of Humble is that it will be ours meaning everybody, all of the users. And I really want to make sure that you all know that I'm not a leader of Humbleswap. I am one of the community members like you. So if you have any questions, if you want to actually just chat about anything, feel free to reach out to me or anybody on the team, because we are building this together. And the way that we, take over the world of finance is together. And my ask to all of you is help us do it. Help us, the royal we, all of us, to achieve this financial freedom, the ability to have a fair share of the future of wealth. But I would say that's the main thing, is that just know that we're doing this together, and we do need I humbly ask for your help to actually make it happen.
Yeah. I think, obviously it gets kind of, that drive. And obviously I'm coming into the crypto scene a little late and trying to learn as I go, because, most people, I'm sure, even watching this, they weren't there as Bitcoin was getting started and as Ethereum was getting started, and really just seeing these, projects being built, not just to get rich, buy Lambos, and all this, Doge coins and meme coins, and we're all going to be rich living in, big mansions with, our memes everywhere. It is back to that whole idea of building a decentralized place where people can exchange value, people can, earn yield, people can take back control of their money rather than these big centralized entities just literally running the whole world, as you're seeing even play out live in front of us in a lot of the, political things that are going on in the world right now. I mean, I think most people should be able to see that, what not just you guys are betting, but what we are building is an economy and is a future of finance where it is truly decentralized. It is truly, us and that are building it. So yeah, definitely love that. And obviously, guys, if you are subscribed to my channel, if you follow me on Twitter, make sure to go follow Chris on his Twitter. I'll link all that in the description below. I'll even tag his website. So if you're a developer or someone who is looking to build in the blockchain space, that you can go there, see what tools they have, and get connected with them. And obviously, when just before we head out here, when is Humbleswap planning to launch, and when will people? I know it is testnet right now, so you can go on there and swap and test around and play around on it. But when are you guys looking to mainnet launch this?
2 weeks. The audit's already done. Everything passed. The only thing really left is to make sure that when we launch, people know that we're launching. So the marketing team is putting together a lot of the right things to make sure people know that we're launching.
Yeah. And I already know I'm going to get a lot of questions from some of my viewers, because whenever I do a new video on a new product that's coming, they always will put in the comments, where can I buy the token? This isn't a token launch. This is a project launch, which is, you would think that should be the status quo, that a project launches before the token, but that's just, it's the world we live in right now. So this is Humbleswap's, app launching that you will be able to use to swap, assets and swap crypto assets on Algorand and things like that. So really excited for that to launch. And Chris, thanks for coming on the channel and talking Reach and Humble.
I really do appreciate you and everything that you bring. And thank you everybody for watching this. And
till next time, guys, let's get out there and make some money.